Now we shall talk about next one, teeth. Now what type of teeth are present in human being here? In actually remember, in human being teeth are heterodont, diphyodont, bunodont, thecodont. So if any question is given, you should be able to answer here now. Remember, heterodont, to start with heterodont. Why are they called heterodont? They are dissimilar. The teeth have different types of cutting edges, that's why we call it heterodont. Heterodont, for instance, you take the incisors. Incisors have cutting edges. Canines have tearing edges. Premolars and molars have grinding edges. So since the teeth are with different types of cutting edges or cutting cusps, we call them even cusp. The tip of the tooth, which is meant for various functions, is called cusp. So it has different kinds of cusps, you call it heterodont teeth, Diphyodont. Teeth are replaced once with two sets. In human being, teeth are replaced once with two sets. The teeth present up to the 6th year are called milk teeth, and the milk teeth are shed off. In the place of milk teeth, you get permanent teeth, Since they are shed off once with two sets, you call it diphyodont. The name diphyodont indicates presence of two sets of teeth. Milk teeth replaced by permanent teeth. The next is you have bunodont. Bunodont bolte the teeth have round cusps. The teeth, suppose you take a tooth, it has round cusps like this. If the cusps are round, inverted, half moon shaped, you call that bunodont teeth. Basing on the nature of cusps, the teeth are divided into different types. That we shall talk about that later on when we take up the class mammalia. But you confine yourself now only to this particular word, that is bunodont. When the cusps are round, we call bunodont. So human being is the best example for bunodont type of teeth. Thecodont. Teeth are embedded in deep grooves of the jawbone. The teeth are embedded in deep grooves of the jawbone. That's why we call it thecodont teeth. Now, what is the dental formula of teeth? Dental formula of permanent teeth. Dental formula of permanent teeth is 2123 by 2123 into 2. Multiply with 2, you get total number. That is in each half of upper jaw and lower jaw. This side you have 2123 by 2123. Multiply with 2, you get the other side also. This is dental formula of permanent teeth. And you have here incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Okay. In each half of the jaw, 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars and 3 molars are present. Then if you take dental formula of deciduous teeth, dental formula of deciduous teeth, 2102 by 2102. That is the dental formula of milk teeth. That is total teeth are 22. Here total teeth are 32. Okay. That is in each half of upper and lower jaw, there are 2 incisors, 1 canine, premolars are entirely absent. Instead of 3 molars, only 2 molars are present here. In some of the books is given that premolars are present, molars are entirely absent. There is a mistake here now. We refer to any human physiology book. You get the authentic information here now. So dental formula of milk teeth, remember dear students, 2102 by 2102 into 2 here now. Where premolars are entirely absent here now. Instead of 3 molars, only 2 molars are present, and 2 incisors and 1 canine are present here now. The last molar, the third molar, erupts from the jawbone at the age of 17 or 18 here now. That's why those teeth are called wisdom teeth here now. Wisdom teeth. Okay, the last molars of upper jaw and lower jaw come out of the jawbone at the age of 17 or 18, where you are supposed to be wise. You are said to be wise from 17 years onwards. You know about the society, you know about the people from 17 years onwards. That's why the teeth that come out of the jawbone at the age of 17 or 18 are called wisdom teeth. As a matter of fact, the wisdom teeth are vestigial in human being. They are vestigial in human being. How are they vestigial? Even if they come out of jawbone, since they are at the corner of the jawbone, food particles get stuck in that. They promote the growth of bacteria, fungus, and ultimately they may develop cavities, they may develop caries. They go to a dentist to get them removed from the jawbone. So instead of being useful here now, they turn out to be deleterious to the human body here now. So that's why we call them vestigial teeth here. The last molars of upper jaw and lower jaw are the vestigial in human body. So remember the dental formula. 2123 by 2123 into 2 is a permanent teeth here now. 2102 by 2102 into 2 is the milk teeth here now. Now you may get questions like which teeth in human being or how many teeth in human being are monophyodont. You should answer here 2 premolars, okay, and the last molar. 2 premolars are entirely absent, and instead of 3 molars you have only 2 molars here now. So 1 molar and 2 premolars are monophyodont. That is 3 plus 3, 6 here now, and down also 6, 12 teeth. Altogether 12 teeth are monophyodont in human being. Monophyodont in human being. So I repeat once again, 12 teeth are monophyodont in human. How do you get 12 here now? Here instead of 3 molars you have only 2 molars. So how many are missing here now? 1 plus 1 here now. So 1 plus 1 and 1 plus 1, 4 teeth are there, and here you don't have premolars at all. So premolars here now how many? 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 4, 12. So altogether 12 teeth are monophyodont. That is, they come out of the jawbone only once. What do you mean monophyodont teeth? The teeth that come out of the jawbone only once are called monophyodont teeth. Monophyodont teeth are usually present in marsupials. Kangaroos are the best example for monophyodont teeth. Even human being here now, if you get a question in the EAMCET or any other exam here now, remember 12 of them are monophyodont, rest of the teeth are diphyodont here now. Now we shall throw some light with regard to the structure of the tooth. Most important point with regard to structure of the tooth here now. Now if you take structure here now, it has a centrally situated pulp cavity. Centrally situated pulp cavity. It is filled with blood vessels and nerve fibers. Filled with blood vessels and nerve fibers, which nourish the tooth. That pulp cavity nourishes the tooth here now. The next to pulp cavity, you have the part that forms the bulk of the tooth here now. Part that forms the bulk of the tooth, this is called dentine. What is this known as? Dentine. This dentine forms the bulk of the tooth here now. Dentine is secreted by odontoblasts. Secreted by odontoblasts. Here you should remember, dear students, you must remember this point here now. Odontoblasts originate from mesoderm. Odontoblasts originate from mesoderm. Tooth has a dual origin. Part of the tooth arises from mesoderm and part of it arises from ectoderm here now. So which part of the tooth arises from mesoderm? The dentine. Dentine is synthesized by odontoblasts. Odontoblasts in turn originate from mesodermal layer. Then entire dentine is traversed by canaliculi. You know, the entire dentine is traversed by canaliculi like this. Canaliculi are the structures through which nutrients are supplied to the tooth here. Okay. Then next to this you have, this is the visible part here now, which is also called crown. This is enamel. What is that? Enamel here now. Enamel is supposed to be the hardest substance in the human body. If you get a question, which is the hardest substance in human body, you have 2 options here now, enamel and the bone. You must go for enamel rather than answering for the bone. Enamel is supposed to be the hardest substance in the human body. Enamel is synthesized by amyloblasts. Which cells give rise to enamel? Amyloblasts synthesize enamel here now, and amyloblasts arise from ectoderm. As I made a mention earlier, dual origin, that is enamel is derived from ectoderm and dentine is derived from mesoderm here now. Okay, so the entire crown part of the tooth is covered by enamel, which gives the shining nature, glowing nature to the tooth here now. When enamel is lost, the teeth develops, all the teeth develop sensitivity here now. When enamel is lost here now, the dentin gets exposed here now, that is, a particular tooth develops sensitivity here now. Now the root part. The root is covered by a substance called cement like this. The entire root part is covered by a soft substance called cement here. Cement. Next to cement, there is a layer that ensheaths the entire root. There is a layer that ensheaths the entire root, which is called peridental membrane. Peridental membrane. Peridental membrane lies between the jawbone and the cement, it acts as a cushion for the tooth. Even whenever you try to crack some hard nuts and all that, teeth get pressurized, but still the teeth are protected from being pressurized. Our teeth are protected from being injured by means of those hard parts and all that, by means of peridental membrane. So it acts as a soft cushion between the jawbone and the tooth, protecting the tooth from being affected by the hard foodstuffs, so on and so forth. So like that, there is a cement, inner cement and outer peridental membrane. Peridental membrane comes in contact with the jawbone, and cement is the one which ensheaths the entire root part of the tooth. And root is anchored to the jawbone by certain collagen fibers like this. The entire root is firmly attached to the jawbone by certain collagen fibers known as Sharp's fibers. What are they known as? Sharp's fibers. Those fibers are called Sharp's fibers, by means of which the tooth is anchored to the jawbone. Then at this juncture, dear students, you must remember 2 points, the 2 most important points. One is diastema. What is diastema in mammals other than human being? Certain teeth are absent. For instance, you take all herbivores do not have canines, because they don't require canines. The canines are absent, like rabbit, cow, sheep and all that. They don't have canines. So if any gap appears due to the absence of certain teeth, it is known as diastema. Another point, certain mammals have the teeth which grow throughout life. Teeth which grow throughout their life. The teeth that grow throughout their life are called persistent pulp teeth. What are they known as? Persistent pulp teeth. Or they are also called rootless teeth. Persistent pulp teeth or rootless teeth. For instance, you take rabbit here now. In rabbit, the incisors grow throughout their life. Upper incisors preferably grow throughout their life. In elephants, premolars grow throughout their life. So if the teeth grow throughout the life, they are known as persistent pulp teeth or rootless teeth. Now this can be asked even under assertion reasoning here now. They may give assertion, the teeth which grow throughout their life are called persistent pulp teeth. The reason should be, why do they grow? What is the reason for that? In all such teeth here now, the root is very broad like this. Root is very broad with a wide aperture at the tip like this. When the root is broad with a wide aperture, large quantity of nutrients are supplied to the tooth throughout their life. Due to constant supply of nutrient here now, such teeth grow throughout their life. That's why the name itself indicates the meaning here now. Persistent pulp teeth. The pulp is persistent throughout the life. Pulp which nourishes the tooth is persistent. That's why the teeth grow throughout life. Then rootless teeth, he says. What do you mean by rootless teeth? Because of the broad root and a wide aperture at the tip, it appears as though the tooth does not have a root here now. That's why we call them rootless teeth here now. So in rabbit, then in elephants, so then in squirrels, so on and so forth, you find persistent pulp teeth or rootless teeth. The also most important point, you must remember this. The next we'll talk about now the part of the pharynx. The posterior part of the buccal cavity is called pharynx. What are the parts of the pharynx now? I shall repeat. Now I'll talk about the next part, that is pharynx. Human body, pharynx is divided into 3 parts: nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Okay, nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. What is nasopharynx? The part of the pharynx that lies above the soft palate. Part of the pharynx that lies above soft palate is called nasopharynx. Nasopharynx internally contains openings of internal nostrils, then openings of eustachian tubes, then it has pharyngeal tonsils. So this is again important NEET point of view. What are the components of the nasopharynx? Number 1, internal nostrils. Number 2, openings of eustachian tubes. Number 3, pharyngeal tonsils. All of them are present in the nasopharynx. What is nasopharynx? The part of the pharynx that lies above the soft palate is called nasopharynx. The next you have oropharynx. The part of the pharynx that lies just below soft palate is called oropharynx. Oropharynx contains palatine tonsils. Palatine tonsils. The tonsils which are present in the throat, which often get affected in children, are the palatine tonsils. They are prone to infection in some children. Whenever they are exposed to cold, or whenever they eat cold items like ice cream and all, they get inflamed. And because of inflammation, they swell and thereby block the passage of food. And removal of the tonsils is called tonsillectomy or tonsillitis, you call it. Okay, so palatine tonsils are more prone to infection in some children. So they are present in the oropharynx region. The next, nasopharynx and oropharynx, both of them open into laryngopharynx. Laryngopharynx opens into gut, that is alimentary canal, through gullet. It opens into gut through gullet. It opens into trachea through glottis. Yes, so I shall repeat once again. It has a common passage for both respiratory system and digestive system. It opens into esophagus through gullet. It opens into trachea through glottis. And glottis is guarded by a cartilaginous flap called epiglottis. A cartilaginous flap called epiglottis. Epiglottis prevents entry of food into the trachea while swallowing food. So these are the parts of the pharynx: nasopharynx with openings of eustachian tubes, internal nostrils and pharyngeal tonsils; oropharynx with the palatine tonsils; laryngopharynx, it's a common passage for both alimentary canal and the respiratory tract, with the glottis and gullet respectively. With the gullet and glottis respectively. Glottis is the one that leads into the trachea. Gullet is the one that leads into esophagus. And glottis is guarded by an elastic cartilaginous structure called epiglottis.